We got a grant of around £500 and that allowed us to buy a yellow mat to be able to curl on, which is really good because it helps us make the whole service more accessible to people, because people with impaired vision can see the yellow.
I'm retired and I come here every week to play the curling. I find it very sociable. You meet good friends.
Well, why we wanted the grant was because it's a very sociable activity. It's very simple to do, it doesn't require any real skill. It's a bit competitive, but not too much. So we wanted to be able to get people to come together.
I saw about the new age curling on the notice board at Kilmer Shopping Centre, and I needed gentle exercise and it seemed suitable.
It's a weekly get together, and anybody who's wanting to exercise in their 70s, for example, it's very relaxing. Well, the grant was a big help. It was a real big help, and we'll never look back really. We'll get more and more people coming now.
But a lot of people haven't heard of curling. They know about curling on ice, but not indoor curling. So we really hope that the grant will help us to attract more people and for the younger generation to take it on as well.
So back in the spring of 2024, the shelter was a beneficiary of a grant from the UK Shared Prosperity Fund. It totalled £44,000 and it was to develop a volunteering programme here at the shelter. I was recruited as a result of that, so I came in with many years of experience in the volunteering sector. So I have created and implemented a programme which ensures that all of our volunteers have a really good experience here, right from the first point of contact, the onboarding, through to hopefully staying with us for many years. And we have recruited an additional 50 volunteers in various different roles.
So some of the funding that we've had has been towards repairing one of our roofs that had a big hole in it in the admin team, but also the amazing volunteer hub that we're now sat in as well. We've had such an increase in volunteer numbers, but we've nowhere for our volunteers to go when they arrive at the shelter, so we've got a dedicated space where they can leave clothes, change, have a tea, coffee.
Been here about 4 or 5 months, and I'm trying to come in as a new sort of front of house volunteer, just to welcome people who come in with their animals.
In terms of what the 50 volunteers give, it really has been transformational here at the shelter. As a charity, we don't receive any government funding, and staffing is one of our highest costs.
I think the future is transformational for the shelter, so to have now around 70 volunteers across the shelter is fantastic. To grow towards 100 volunteers across the shelter will improve the quality of care that we can offer to the animals, but also just enable volunteers to have a really good and rich experience at the shelter. Ultimately, the beneficiaries will be our animals in our care. So we're aware that from a volunteering perspective, it is a win-win-win at the shelter. So a volunteer wins through volunteering their time and getting some value from themselves. The shelter wins because we have more resources, so we're able to dedicate more time to the animals that are in our care, and therefore the animals that we're here for and to serve get the benefits of that. So everybody wins from the increased numbers of volunteers at the shelter.
Church warden of this church, which is St Paul's in Market Street, Dudley. We received £1,399. We spent it on security cameras. We used it to get CCTV cameras for the church and also security lights for the car park. Last year, someone had parked up in the car park. She was there for less than 5 minutes, and by the time she got back out to her car, somebody had been in and taken her laptop and 2 handbags. We've got notices up to say that we've got CCTV, and I think it does deter people. But the security light has proved invaluable because the gamers use it on a Tuesday night from 7 o'clock till 11, and during the winter it's very dark in the car park. We do a bingo on a Thursday night and we get elderly people in, so it's proved invaluable for them as well because it was a bit awkward before.
So in total we got 2 grants. One was £1,000 and the second grant was £10,000. We spent the money on a lot of board games, war games, mats, tables, just everything that you can imagine that you would want to use for a gaming club, sort of tabletop gaming, not like computer gaming. We also bought things that benefited the church as well, so we upgraded the equipment in the kitchen. We got access to a bus as well, so a minibus. We do day trips. We use some of the funding to fund our day trips as well. The funding is obviously having a huge impact on the sort of local community. As a group of avid board gamers or tabletop gamers, that funding's massively helping people who generally would play these games at home or just with the family, who didn't have the confidence to come out. So what we're seeing is a lot of people who would normally, maybe their friends would go to the pub and they went into that, they're now coming here. And we're getting regulars every week and we're seeing vast improvements in people's health. I do envisage us growing. We've probably had over 1,000 people here. And what we want to do is try and incorporate other clubs. We want to sort of put our branding out there, incorporate them, and then we can sort of help control them and look after them as well. We've built a huge community here.
We got a grant of £10,000. We've done any amount of work for groups which we're so happy, and it opened a few more doors for them to day trips, excursions, things that they wouldn't have had they not been given the grant, had we not been given the grant. So for the future, I think it could only had a positive impact. So I think they've got to continue with it in the future for the benefit of the 50, 100 groups so involved. We've got Dudley Walking Group, massive, you know, Wide Open Football Club, and my main ones are New Fordley Juniors. Right, basically, what a big thing, especially with the time of year, was Christmas. So you had Christmas markets, Durham, York, Newcastle, you know, everywhere. So a lot of the groups were getting in touch to take them on day trips. So without the funding, without our services, they would never be able to do that, you know. Going forward, I think they've got to look at things like that. The amount of doors that's open, the amount of different days, the amount of different opportunities all the groups had to do.
My name is Kathleen Nixon, and the group is from Out of Sight at Dudley Youth Group. Overall, we got £15,000. Initially, we didn't have any youth group in Dudley, so we actually set one up from scratch. We had a core handful of people who said what they would like in the area. So we started doing crafting, we started doing, what did we do? We did lots of lovely things. Lego, we have Lego evenings, and we've just grown from a small group up to 45 members. We have pizza evenings, they love that. We got some other funding with UKSPF for the community, and we put on a community event, like it was a party in the park, and we got music, got entertainment, we fed everybody for free, and our youth group were there with their t-shirts on, helping us, and the stalls, etc., and even having their own stall, a teddy bear stall, to make funds for themselves. So it was lovely that they were interacting with our community too. I mean, the idea is we're getting events in the community now, so that's our next step. We're expanding into the community. We are established and we're not going anywhere. These kids love this youth group and they come every week. If it wasn't for that money, we would not have been able to establish this group. We wouldn't have been able to pay for the staff that's needed, the accommodation that's needed, and everything we get for them every week, all the crafts, all the Lego, all the pizzas and all the hot dogs. And they just love it, you know, they just come along and they're just making friends in the community as well. They're making friends with each other.
Part of North Tyneside Council's food poverty initiative, I was approached by our social intervention team to see if we could set up a social supermarket or food pantry in the northwest in the 3 wards I was working with. We already knew that Kath was providing feeding families, so it was like a free food provision, sort of almost like a food bank. However, we wanted to restore dignity back into the community and give things back to the community. So it wasn't just a case of a handout, it was somewhere where people could go and feel safe and feel valued, and also they'd had a choice of what they could then eat and take home. We supported her with some funding with Fair Share. We got her set up with £5,000, which is now weekly deliveries from Fair Share. They're generating around £100 to £150 a week now, which is going straight back into the community and straight back into that social supermarket. And thanks to the success of that social supermarket, we've now currently set up 2 others in the wards. We've got one in Camperdown now, and we've got one in Longbenton as well. So the 3 wards I look after, we've managed to open up one in each. So we're helping reduce food poverty, creating pride of place, and giving people a lot more dignity around food poverty.
We set up in Dudley probably about 2018 at this hub. We were a charity before that, but we set up in the hub here. And then one day Caroline knocked on my door from North Tyneside Council. She said, what about a social supermarket? Oh, I'll be honest, I was terrified, absolutely terrified. But I can tell you now, with that support from the council, with that funding, it is the best thing we've ever done. It really is.
We want to have communities that are sustainable and can look after themselves. The idea behind the social supermarket is so people have access to good, nutritious food long term. So it's not just like we're going to throw money at it. It's a case of, right, this is what we want you to do. Put money back into your own community, which will then sustain and continue, and hopefully the legacy will continue.
Hello, my name is Chris. I'm part of the North West Young Commissioners. We were responsible for looking over the applications and making the decision of which organisations got the funding.
We were awarded just over £7,000. What that's allowed us to do is to use this room, which was completely empty. We've basically used that funding to kit the whole room out, so that's purchasing obviously the settees and everything that we've got here, tables and chairs, which is classed as like a breakout area. We've getting some TVs, furniture as well in terms of cupboards and shelving. We've also got like an Xbox, a PlayStation, tabletop football. We'll get some board games in.
Me and the other member Will went to the event. We were there representing North West Young Commissioners. We had a little bit to say. It's quite an interesting day actually. We've went and looked at some of the organisations. We went to the Clooney to see Sounding Out. We came to this one to see what they do here, which was very interesting to see how they would use the funding.
The idea with the room now is that we've already got other groups coming in and using it. So we've got like a Sounding Out group, a musical group coming in on a weekly basis. The North Tyneside carers are coming in on a monthly basis. They're using the room. So as part of the legacy, it's the fact that it's not just going to be Quadrant Leisure using the room. There's other groups that are starting to come in and provide other services and facilities for young people in the area.
So we received the medium grant, which was a little under £10,000.
We have been running Step Outdoors sessions in 3 different localities. And these sessions are designed for parents or carers to come with their children who are kind of between 0 and 5 and spend time playing outdoors together.
So we wanted to kind of teach some of the parents that joined in on the sessions to encourage their children to exercise, engage more with the outdoors in nature.
So we've been delivering these sessions at the Oxford Centre, which is where we are today, New Fordley Juniors Football Club and at Greenfields Community Primary School in their community hub.
For the future, we'd hope for the groups to carry on running.
Because the feedback we've had from the families and the children is that they've been really beneficial. The parents and children have gained loads of confidence coming to the groups and are really excited to play outside together. But it's to do with like the children's school readiness, so it's targeted to areas where children are kind of entering school lower than expected levels. So this is to try and like boost their skills before they enter school.
We would like to develop a volunteer basis where these sessions are held by ourselves, but that they're able to access these types of sessions or these types of experiences to improve their mental well-being, their physical activity and engagement with nature going forward.
We were awarded quite a lot. We had approximately 27,000 from the community grant. We had about 62,000 from Capital and just over 1,000 from the medium-sized grants. And in that, for the Capital, we've put new solar panels on our roof, we've changed all our lighting, we're setting up a tool library and a man shed. And then from the medium grant, a new carpet bowls mat and bowls. And then the community grant, what haven't we done? Sign language, menopause exercise, creative writing, a community choir, children's exercise classes, cooking demonstrations, gardening, games. I think what's been wonderful about it is the number of new people it's brought into the community centre. So people that we've never seen come through the doors, although they may be local or further afield. But there are groups now that will carry on. So your menopause, choir, sign language, some of the children's activities. So it is a legacy. With regards to the Capital grant, we're currently already saving £350 a month on our energy bills. The future's looking good.
The grant funding has actually made a monumental difference to the area. So prior to this, there was no youth provision. So it's enabled youth provision to be established, and going from nothing to what it is now, we'll have over 20 young people at the junior one and a good group of 10 for the senior group within the space of the grant fund and within a year. So it's been phenomenal, to the point where we'll have to sometimes turn some young people away because we've reached the capacity. They've done quite a lot and they've achieved a great deal in the short period of time that the group's been running. So they've done numerous social action projects, which include, they made packs up for the People's Kitchen at Christmas. So they've made over, I think it was 75 packs. So homeless people each got a pack with like goodies in and just hand sanitizer and little bits in a book. They've also done numerous trips. They've recently just been on a residential where quite a few of the group experienced something that they would never have been able to experience if that opportunity hadn't been given. Obviously now the funding's coming to an end, we're hoping that the group can continue, and obviously the young people are as well. It's been such a fast track and such a great group within a short period of time. We are looking at different avenues and just trying to do our best to ensure that continues and that the young people within this community have this space as well. And hopefully in the future there'll be more opportunity and more activities and more nights.
We received a UKSPF large grant of over 35,000, and we've put that money towards materials, towards the workshops.
The group here is the Creative Catch-Up Group, who are a group of people from Camperdown, Camperdown. They've met weekly since summer 2024 to explore different ways of making art and finding out how creativity can support their mental health.
It was my mum that suggested I should come along. Oh, there's an art group starting, you might be interested, because I used to do art when I was at school and that was about it. I don't work these days because of ill health, so it's a really nice outlet to get me out and about.
I went down just to see what it was, and I thought, this is not for me. And it took me 2 weeks before I realised, God, it is for me, I love it. And I've never ever missed a season of it. Just wonderful.
In terms of the long-term difference, the local residents in these small dispersed communities hoping they get pride in where they live, feel valued, connected, and they have creative tools that can help support their mental health and well-being.
Some of the other people around in the village who wouldn't ordinarily do that kind of thing really just let themselves go and enjoy themselves. So not just for me, but I'm sure it's an outlet in the village that we have, which is really needed, you know. I certainly enjoy it and I hope it carries on.
Hopefully we can continue this into the future.
My name's Vicky Smith and I'm the CEO at North Tyneside VODA. We were absolutely delighted to work with North Tyneside Council on this project. It's been absolutely fantastic to work with all of the VCSE organisations across the northwest of the borough who've been accessing the support through VODA on this project.
I'm Anya Lawrence, the VCSE Liaison Manager for North Tyneside Council. We have supported over 88 projects and awarded over £1.2 million in grants to the voluntary community sector as part of this initiative. We would like to thank all of the amazing organisations that we have worked with.